What's up, everyone? It's David with Sensei to Crypto. I am joined with Robin, and today we are talking about the long-awaited Vasil hard fork coming to the Cardano mainnet. What will it change? What are some exciting things happening with Vasil? Let's get right into it and take a look. Now, the hard fork is set. This is sourced from IOHK's official website and their documents. What will it do? It will increase functionality, performance, and scalability for the Cardano mainnet. Developers will have access to the upgrades not on the day the hard fork goes live, but 5 days later on September 27th. And also, Vasil will make way for 7+ improvements and upgrades, setting Cardano apart from the rest of the Layer 1 space. Now, what are some of the biggest changes and upgrades that Vasil will make? One of them is CIP 31. If you're not familiar with what CIP stands for, it is Cardano Improvement Proposal. Number 31 will enable data sharing on chain. CIP 33 will allow developers to reference a script without including it in each transaction. Now, this significantly will reduce transaction size and script execution costs. Also, with Vasil, we will see diffusion pipelining, which will make improvements to the consensus layer that facilitates faster block propagation and effectively streamlines the process of sharing information. Now, we know with hard forks and upgrades to mainnets, exchanges and the likes have to get with the program. Well, we have some good news. On the left, you'll see the largest exchanges by trading volume and whether they're ready or in progress. You see Binance is ready, Upbit, Bitrue, Mexi. Coinbase, though, is not ready yet, but they are in progress. And on the right-hand side here, you see the some of the biggest apps on Cardano and whether they have tested for the pre-production. MinSwap is tested and ready to go. One I want to highlight is Sunday Swap, which is currently in testing. Also, Meld, which is one of the larger lending platforms on Cardano, is in testing as well. Now, it's no secret that we are huge fans of Cardano here at Sensei to Crypto. We have been waiting for this hard fork for a while. There was some issues surrounding Charles Hoskinson and the SPOs and whether they were going to be ready or not. Well, Charles did do an AMA, and he did mention that even if they wanted to stop it, they wouldn't be able to. The ship has sailed. The rocket has launched. Robin, you want to share your thoughts on the Vasil, what it's going to bring to Cardano, and some of the improvements they're looking to make?
Well, after they rolled out smart contracts, well, here's the thing: the Cardano haters, they always are one step behind the newest upgrade. And so before you had the Goguen era and the Shelley mainnet and the latest forks, it was all this. Well, there's no smart contracts. It doesn't do anything, and that narrative is dead. And now the latest one is that they don't have the transaction speed, they don't have the transaction throughput capability, the speed, and this next fork that's coming out that is in the process. It's coming whether you want it to or not. This is supposed to address a lot of the scaling issues. So from a user perspective, this is the sexiest of all of the upgrades. I mean, this is what gives you faster transactions and more transactions per block and cheaper transactions. So literally it fulfills like the security and the
scalability, usability. I mean,
no, what I'm saying is like security, consensus, things of that nature. Some of the things behind the scenes usually isn't that attractive for the average investor. Someone that's just kind of wants to use the network. A lot of people don't care about the nuts and bolts of it. But what's at face value is when something fundamentally works better for the user side of the experience, like, faster and cheaper. And so that's what we're getting. I watched the Charles Hoskinson AMA, or his announcement actually, and he made a couple interesting points. So one, I know you touched on this, is that the hard fork is now launched. It's set to upgrade on the 22nd. So if you're not familiar with how the upgrades work on Cardano, or just how Cardano works, if you ever staked on Cardano, it's every 5 days you have what's called epoch, and or Epic, as or I'm not exactly sure the pronunciation.
It's
but,
Epoch. You're right.
And so that happens every 5 days. And so every 5 days, your staking starts, ends, and that's when the hard fork will transition 5 days from now, and then 5 days after that, the second half or the remaining part of the upgrade will also go into effect. One thing Charles did say, which is somewhat comical, is that the rocket has taken off, and per his words, he said the rocket has taken off. So it's either a good trajectory or it blows up. And there's no stopping it. So there's no more test nets or anything like that. No reversing it. So
Are you worried at all that something can go wrong, or are you pretty confident in, the history of Charles and Cardano and IOHK and how they've just methodically done everything, taken their time, testnet after testnet? Is there still a little bit of?
Here's the thing: you said methodically thought of everything. You can't think of it. That's
fair. That's fair.
Where it is. And
so you think there's a chance?
Well, there always is, and in that you could say that with any. I mean, even the BIP proposals with Bitcoin, those, even as minute as they are and uncomplicated, there is a risk involved with that. Now, where Cardano differs from the pack is that they have an extensive and grueling testnet, and on top of that, they have peer-reviewed papers. So everything that they're rolling out has been vetted not only by their own technicians, but by computer software engineers from around the world. And that's outside of just cryptography as well. I mean, some of the baseline code is used in basic computer mathematics. And so you're not only leveraging your own personal or your in-house team, but you're putting it out there for the world to poke at and criticize. And that is one of the benefits of having an open source protocol when it comes to cryptocurrency, is that especially if you release all of your research beforehand, it gives you a second opinion. And, to keep it short and simple, there is a chance, albeit they have prepared as much as possible with test nets and the peer-reviewed papers, research papers, that I highly doubt that something will slip through the cracks. But it is always something that is on the table.
Let me play devil's advocate here. Now, there's not a lot of smart contracts being run on Cardano compared to, let's say, Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche. Can someone make the point that why don't you work on getting more people into your ecosystem versus upgrading to 3 million transactions per second with the introduction of Hydra? Focus on bringing more people into the ecosystem. You don't need to scale right now. What would you say to that?
Well, that would go against Cardano's philosophy. Cardano's philosophy is that they want to build a product from top to bottom, and then the users will come. They don't care about price. They don't, or at least they say they don't. They don't care about what the community thinks about their project. I mean, you do see frustration when it comes to Charles and the community, but at the end of the day, their mission and that core value is to develop the most secure, efficient, and 100% working flawlessly project. And that's one thing I haven't seen. I haven't seen a failure in the network. I haven't seen any massive exploits or anything that has drawn concern. Yeah, and so I don't know. I feel comfortable with their choice, because the thing is if you focus on community, like, why are you putting the people will come? Put it that way. There's no need to try to convince people that you have a good chain. Just make a good chain, and people will come.
Robin, you want to share your thoughts on some price action leading up to the hard fork? Now, if you remember back in, I believe it was 2021, September, right? So about a year ago, smart contracts were introduced to the Cardano mainnet. We saw a big run up in price to all-time highs, and then immediately when that went live, when I believe it was Goguen.
Yeah, it was Goguen.
Goguen went live, price plummeted. Do you see something similar happening here? Or do you think this time is going to be different?
Well, if we would have had a similar run up to that era, remember the Gogan smart contract upgrade, that was in the height of the bull market. That's where we saw Cardano reaching $3. And, that was because there was so much retail buzz. I mean, you couldn't go outside and have a conversation being someone that's interested in crypto and not hear about Ethereum, Cardano, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. Those are very, very big buzzwords. And a lot of people bought into it that are not crypto enthusiasts, that aren't regular crypto investors. And so you had this influx of inexperienced investors that came in, bought, and we know what happened with the buy the rumor, sell the news event. We saw the Cardano dump. Now, fast forward to where we're at now. Cardano is at 2-year lows right now. It was back in late 2020 that we were at a price at where we're at now. And so we haven't got the run up. We pumped all the way up to 50 cents, but I mean, that's so far off from where we were. And lo and behold, we've retraced down to the low 40 cents at the current filming on 9/19. So I don't think we're gonna see any pullback right now. I think it's Cardano is just gonna kind of follow the price action of Bitcoin. Bitcoin happens to dump. Cardano probably will go further down. There is more volatility in Cardano versus Bitcoin. So if you predict or if you're anticipating the price of Bitcoin to drop, you're probably going to get a bigger drop out of Cardano. Conversely, the opposite will happen. I do think if Bitcoin rallies around the same time that this goes, that the mainnet goes live, the hard fork goes live, I could see a potential for a run up because of the major upgrade to coincide. So perhaps you get 30% gains out of Cardano with a 5 to 10% gain out of Bitcoin. I think that's very, very probable. That's something that I'm eyeballing. I think right now is a pretty good entry point for myself.
So speaking of entry points, and we'll do this to kind of wrap it up, I have the Cardano chart pulled up here. This is a 4-hour chart on Cardano. We did just break under from this head and shoulders pattern that we started back on September 2nd. Now we did cross below the neckline and we've made a nice U-shaped rally back towards the neckline. Now what we want to see as far as price action, and I would not recommend getting in now, of course, it's not financial advice, but what we want to see for positive price action is we want to see this price break above this neckline, retest, build support, and then come back up to this right shoulder height, which will put us right around 49 cents. So if you are looking to get into Cardano short term and you believe there is a pump coming, I would highly recommend, again, this is not financial advice, wait for this retest of the neckline right around 45 to 46 cents. And if you're looking to take profits, I would look at the 49 to 50 cent range to take profits. If not, if you're a hodler, well, you don't have to worry about it. That'll do it for our Cardano Vasil hard fork upgrade video today. Make sure you come check out Sin City Crypto live Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Las Vegas time. Until then, have a great day. Take care.